Hi guys, my name is Andrew Smith and I want to start by telling you a little about myself. I'm currently a senior with 113 credits and soon to be graduate at A&M Corpus Christi. I have 2 semesters left hopefully, and if all goes according to plan, we'll graduate spring semester of this upcoming year. I major in geographic science and I've attended this college for the duration of my major. I'm hopefully proudly planning on graduating from here. I enjoy GIS and surveying as I like being outside and working with data, as well as seeing new things and helping out in the process of constructing, as well as maintaining and repairing pre-existing structures. So, the company that I work for is called Vickery and Associates. It is located at 12940 Country Parkway in San Antonio, Texas. It was founded in 1971 by Kenan and Norma Vickery with family-oriented values in mind. They are a consulting, engineering, and survey firm that provides things like design, surveying for construction, planning, and program management, and much, much more. Some notable projects and buildings that this company has worked on include Hemisphere Tower, Fiesta Trails, the Henry B. Gonzalez Convention Center expansion, Remington Medical Resort, and many, many more. Currently, there are about 5 field crews that go out and gather data, consisting of around 3 people per crew, with another 30 or so civil engineers and RPLS and SITs working inside. Mainly, topographic surveys are performed, with a lot of work coming from TxDOT. Practically all of the customers Vickery has are repeat customers. So, as far as my job goes, I've been an intern at Vickery and Associates for about 9 weeks now and have gotten a lot of different experience working here. For 6 weeks, I've worked out in the field on various projects, including a bathymetric and topographic survey of Spring Lake and a STAM at San Marcos, in addition to performing a level loop over the control points set up here. I've also got inverts of manholes, used a P40 scanner to scan the front side of the Henry B. Gonzalez Convention Center, and that makes a really nice point cloud, really dense point cloud with practically no time at all. I've performed a utility topographic survey along a highway right outside of Austin and various other topographic surveys around the San Antonio area. I have also done boundary recon, and for those we normally utilize a shovel and a Schonstatt metal detector to try to find the boundary corners. We utilize Trimble and Leica data collectors and equipment to perform these surveys. So, in addition to being out in the field surveying, I've also had the chance to work inside the office doing various things. I've been inside the office for about 3 weeks now, doing mostly data processing, which consists of me utilizing programs such as Leica Infinity, Trimble Business Center, Microsurvey StarNet, and various other programs. I mostly look at topographic surveys, where I check the reports in the field books to see if things like the height of the instrument and rods, distances, angles, codes, epoch counts, and deltas match up. In level loops, I look at if the outcome of the level loop is good, what the misclosure is, and various other things like the distance in between the shots. In addition to this, I look at the quality of the shot on the programs, and after I look at all this, I make reports about the job and export the data to Microsoft Excel for further cleaning, where I toss out unnecessary measurements like check shots and adjust control that was used to adjust the measurement. I then normally raise up the points to either surface or grid, depending on what the situation is, and we'll send it over to one of the civil engineers or RPLSs to transfer it into AutoCAD. Um, so after the unnecessary measurements are tossed out, I also pass along a copy of the field notes that have scribbles on and put the various files in an office-wide available folder for employees doing line work. I will get to experience some of this in the upcoming weeks, and I look forward to it because it's actually really nice to be able to do it. So, going to school for this type of work helped greatly, as quite a few concepts that were used out in the field were familiar to me, especially on the surveying side of things. For instance, while performing a traverse, it helped knowing basic concepts like having a longer backsight and a foresight to improve accuracy, as well as establishing new working points in a good position in order to maximize the viewability of the position that the total station would be set up on. Also, knowing the correct way of setting up and fully leveling the total station over the exact point of interest greatly helped when it came time to do this, because if you don't know how to, it could take many minutes just for one setup, and it could be a job where many setups are required, and that could result in, if you don't know what you're doing, it could take all day for a simple project. Um, when it came to leveling, I learned in school basic principles like setting up exactly in the middle of the points and keeping the distance of a shot to the rod under 200 feet. I also learned the two-peg test, which helps check the accuracy of the transit. All these principles were applicable to the work I got to be a part of. When it came to things like RTK and static GPS, learning about multipath in school helped out greatly, as I was able to help pick out a position to set up the base station for RTK that was relatively free from multipath. Um, and if you set it up in a bad spot, it could potentially ruin all the data for the day, and which could result in you having to go back out. So that's not a fun thing to do. Um, since a lot of my schooling was in the traditional way of surveying, this meant placing an emphasis on field notes, writing practically everything for every shot, and this helped me understand the importance of such practices when it came time for note taking on the job, because that's where you record things like the height changes for the rod, different setups for the base station or for the total station, whatever you're using. So it's actually really important to keep track of those things. What I wish I learned, the downside to learning a lot of traditional methods was the fact that when working with newer technology, which I did a lot of, things such as automatic levels, robotic total stations, data collectors, things like that, most of the processes needed to work this equipment were new to me and untouched in school, which meant there was a whole lot to be learned on the job. This being said, I wish I learned more about data collectors, automatic levels, automatic things basically instead of optical levels, robotic total stations. In addition to these, I wish we had covered RTK GPS more, things such like setting up the base station and using VRS. In addition to this, covering some of the associated programs such as Trimble Business Center and Like Infinity would have been really nice as well, as these are a big part in the processing side of things. My overall experience was really nice though. This summer internship at Vickery and Associates was very beneficial to me. I definitely learned a great amount in the existing technology available in the surveying field. I had tons of help along the way. In a matter of weeks, I became familiar with much of the equipment that they utilized, and after moving inside the office, I was introduced and made familiar with the software used to process the data coming in from the field. Everyone that I worked with was very nice, and I hope to be able to work with them again. If anyone has a chance to intern with this company, I strongly suggest taking it. Thank you.